In this lecture, we will talk about else in for loop. For example, we say that we have two statements for repetition. One is while loop and another is for loop. We talk about while in else and while loop. Else and for loop in else and while loop all have the same functionality. Else in for loop, we say, for example, the else keyword in for loop specify the block of code to be executed when the loop condition is false. For example, we have a condition in the loop, like if we talk about this condition. The condition is for x, and we already talked about the range. For x in range 6 means from 0 to 5 number of time. From x to the range 6 to what? Print x. From 0 to 5 number will be printed. But if the condition remain false, else in that block. What does this mean? Else mean if the condition is false, then print what? Then print finally finished. So this program will print from 0 to 5 and then we'll say finally finished, because in 6 the condition is false. So else in while loop and else in for loop, we say perform the same functionality. The else block will not be executed if the loop is started by a break. But if the loop is started by a break statement, like for example print x, and then I say in here that if x is equal to 3, do what? Break. Then in this case it will not be stopped by else statement. Why it will not be stopped by else statement? Because it is stopped by a break statement. The condition of loop is true, not false. So that's why. Nested loop, we will talk about nested loops, that a loop inside another loop is called as a nested loop. One loop inside another, for example for loop, is called a nested for loop. One while loop inside another while loop is called nested while loop. But in general we call it nested loops. For example, in this case we have adg is equal to, this is a list of thing, it is red and comma, and then it's big, then comma, then we say it is tasty. Okay, then we have fruits. Fruit is equal to another list. We have two lists. We have apples, we have for example banana, and we have cherry. For x in adg, for y in fruits, print xy. So in this case, for example, it will red will be printed, or red will be iterated to all in, we say apple, banana, cherry. Red apple, red banana, red cherry. Then bake. For every element of external loop, all internal loop will be printed. That is the main functionality of that. For example, if we have an outer loop, we have an inner loop. For every iteration of outer loop element, all inner loop will be printed. So for red, all of this will be printed, and then this condition remain false, then this will be, we say, incremented. This will be incremented, because we say that the for loop is a little bit different in Python rather than other language, because in Python it will iterative, it is work like an iterative. And we already talked about the pass statement. If the loop does not contain any statement, then we can use, for example, pass. There is no statement. For example, for x, and there is a list 0 1 2, do what? Pass. There is no statement in here. So to avoid error, what we have to do right here is use the pass statement. For x, there is x to time in. So this is the statement.